What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, YouTube? Back with another day. Today's part 2 of the Nissan Pathfinder fix. That video is probably a year and a half old. We cleaned it up. We did a bunch of stuff to it. And it's been a nightmare. And we've been trying to figure this thing out. And I'll actually add a clip right now of what the car is doing. And so as you see, it's just acting weird, and everything led to us replacing the computer and getting it fixed and checked. And we sent it out and we checked. We're not really sure that the guy did a good job, because I asked him some questions like, did he update it and did he go through it? And he was like waving himself around the questions. I don't know what the word is, but we're gonna put the computer back in. We went to a Nissan forum on Facebook and we got some suggestions and stuff, so we're gonna do that and get that checked out. First thing that they said for us to do is fuel filter, and then the PVC valve may need to be replaced, and then this is the computer we're gonna put back in the vehicle. These things, I know that it's probably most likely not gonna fix our issue. I know that for sure, but it's just things that we just need to get out of the way, so when people ask, it's already been done. And they're so cheap. I mean, fuel filter is 15 bucks. The PVCs themselves are 15 bucks for both. And the only reason I got two is because for the Nissan, it calls for two different types. And I'm pretty sure it's the one that screws in. That's the one this one is. But I'm not sure yet. So we'll find out in a second. Got this battery charging here too. We got that from Harbor Freight. And we got the battery charging. That's a brand new battery. It's like a year old. So yeah, this is the setup right now. It's the 3.5 liter 4-wheel drive, whole 9 yards. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna start on the PVC or PCV and get those replaced. So it actually calls for the planogram to be removed, this thing, the intake, but I'm gonna try to sneak it from the back, and if I can't, then I'll have to remove it. But yeah, we'll go from there. Alright guys, so unfortunately I cannot reach that area back there. My hands aren't just big enough. Some people can sneak it. I've seen them do it, but I just can't. So I unfortunately have to take the planogram off and replace that little $2 part. So time lapse, I guess. Cue the time lapse. Alright guys, the PCV valve is right there. You could see how much of a pain that was to get to. I mean, that was about an hour and a half worth of work. Got it done pretty quickly, luckily, but that's it right there. We're going to take that out and we're going to test it. I guarantee that it's okay, but it's better to be on the safe side than to assume that it is working and sit here and diagnose things and waste time when it's just a little cheap part. So right off the bat, this one's definitely a lot cleaner, but luckily it is the right one. So easy way to tell if the PCV is working. Are you okay? Is by blowing on it and making sure there's vacuum. So that's the new one. The new one should be able to, you should be able to suck it and there's air, but when you blow, see, it seals. And look,
it's clogged to hell.
but yeah, it's bad because it should hold a seal, and this one's clearly not.
That's what that whistle probably is.
Yeah, that's crazy. Little freaking $8 part.
Well, we spent $500 first.
That's crazy.
Hopefully that's it.
Hopefully that's it, yeah. Alright, so from our recent discovery, the PCV valve was bad. So now we're going to put everything back together, start this thing up. We're going to put all these other stuff too, just since the fuel tank doesn't really have pressure right now, hopefully. And we're going to put the computer back in so the car does start. But other than that, let's put everything back together. Let's cue the time lapse one more time, and let's get building. Alright guys, so everything is done, everything is connected, everything is hooked up, ready to go. I can start it right now if I wanted to, but real quick, we're going to take care of the fuel filter issue. So this is a quick disconnect tool. This is used to take off the fuel filter connections, and also in some vehicles, let me see if I can find it real quick in this one. Yeah, it looks like I can't, but sometimes it's also used to take off fuel lines when it's coming in through the fuel rail. So this is a very useful tool. It helps out in a lot of different ways. So I don't know exactly what size we need, so I'm glad I got the universal kit so I don't have to go back to the store and get another one. So first order of business, let's find the fuel filter somewhere under the vehicle and then crawl under there and see what's going on. Wish me luck. Alright guys, so I'm under the vehicle right now, and that's the fuel filter. It literally looks like it's never been changed, and that bracket looks like it's in pretty rough shape. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that bracket doesn't break when I take everything off. But I'm paying attention to the orientation of the filter. So it looks like out is going that way towards the right, and then in is on the left. So I just have to make sure I keep that consistent. So let me work on that. I won't be able to film it because it's just so dark down here, but just hang on and I'll get a clip of the new one in. Alright guys. Alright guys, I got the light on the camera now.
Wait, I didn't pee.
You didn't what?
No, nothing.
Okay, well, so we took what is it? We took
the PVC?
No, the fuel filter.
Oh, we were going to take the fuel filter.
Oh yeah, we took a rain day on the fuel filter because it's just
Rusted.
too much to worry about right now, and it's getting dark, and we're just gonna move on. Not worry about that.
Another day.
Yeah, we already have it. It's really easy to do. We'll just do it another day. We're gonna put the battery in. We already put the computer in, and then we're just gonna start it. Pray for the best. So, get
I'll be in the thing.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
I can hold it and you can put it in the battery. You want to talk about what you got today? No, like a quick switch over. Like, okay, guys, I got this today. No.
I mentioned it in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, should have been there.
Sorry, loser.
Sorry. So this is the proper way to put a battery in a car.
That didn't sound good. Ow! It stopped doing that noise when I was like,
Cat's like, I know that noise. It's crazy cat laying noise.
I'm like, nah, I'm fine. It's so crazy that cat just hangs around here.
Yeah, right.
Oh, we need new terminals. I wanted to buy new, or what is that called, terminals?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to buy new ones because it was, that right one is so rusted.
Damn it. Woo! Woo!
That's what I thought.
Woo! Woo! You're so annoying. Go.
Scoot over, loser. Go that
Okay guys, just a quick recap real quick before Cassie starts the car. Before, the car was idling high, and then when it warmed up, the idle would bounce uncontrollably, and it wouldn't stop for a very long time. And then after a while, the car would overheat. Now overheating, it won't do because we took the thermostat out. It's just running complete circle.
And we have to install them.
Yeah, so we'll put a new one eventually, but for now, for testing.
No one was in stock too.
Yeah, and no one had the one that we needed in stock.
Till tomorrow. Turn on?
Yeah. Turn off. And turn off all the way and take it out and do it again. What's going on, guys? Day 2 of working on the car. Last night was pretty uneventful. We did all that work. Same issue happened. The car wouldn't start at first because I didn't plug in the computer all the way, so that was 100% my fault. Oopsies. We figured out it was a computer issue because the check engine light wouldn't come on when you turn the key in the on ignition or on position, and the key wouldn't really in the middle of my the scanner wouldn't read, and then the check engine light wouldn't come on. So we figured out that it was a computer issue, and I realized I didn't plug it in. So don't do that.
No, but the car is running better than it was since you changed that spot. It doesn't idle as hard.
Yeah, it's a little bit noticeable difference, but it's still not running as it should. So plan today is make sure we bleed the coolant system out. That's first thing. And then second thing is make sure the TPS is set correctly, and I can do that with a multimeter and a bunch of different steps that I have to follow through. And then lastly, we have to test drive it again and do the idle air control valve relearn. So just a bunch of garbage. She brushes the leaves. Off by itself.
Oh.
And then when it does turn off, you can just turn. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to pull the fuel pump filter fuse, or the fuel pump fuse, so there's no pressure on the fuel filter when I take it out. So, you can go ahead. Ta-da! Out. Put that one back in. Alright, now we can go to the back of the vehicle and get started. Whoa.
Oh. Auto zone. Get in the zone. O'Reilly's.
Cassie has a slogan theme song dyslexia. So the fuel filter got out. We were able to take it out. It was not an easy process. It's a pain in the ass. Thankfully Rudd took care of it. He got half of it off and I got the rest of it off. So it'd be easier to just replace the hose. So we're gonna go to AutoZone real quick and get the new one, the one that we need, and then get everything else. And I have a caliper and I measured it the right way.
I think you should
and stuff.
take the tube, so.
And I do that. Huh?
You should probably still take the tube.
Okay.
Yes, we should take the tube.
Alright, fuel pump is in. It was a mess, man. That was just the worst thing. The screws are all stripped out and they're just awful. But we put hose clamps in there now. They should be good. I didn't put enough pressure on them, or a lot. So hopefully the hose clamps over time don't rip the hosing. And if it does, we'll just replace it. No big deal. We'll get the right clamps if that's needed. The band that holds the fuel filter actually on is completely broken, so I just had to zip tie it for now. It looks like the actual mount is replaceable, so maybe if we go to a junkyard anytime soon, we can get that replaced and get it off a donor car that's in much better shape. This car was up north for a very long time, and it did go under a lot of weather conditions, so yeah, I'm not surprised to see a little bit of rust down there. So now we're just waiting on Cassie. She put the dogs up. She's going to prime the filter and get it started, and we'll see what happens. Now, I'm pretty sure that It's not going to fix anything, but it's just good that we did it and that it's done and out of the way. And if anyone asks, you know, it's something that we've done, it's already been replaced. Guys, it's day 3 now. Yesterday's clip was, the day was cut short. We had something to do, and I didn't, oh, got a smudge, 1 second. And I didn't update the camera. I just let that be. So, but we did do the fuel pump, and everything is working. So that's good. That's good. Me and Cassie did a lot of research last night. We kind of have an answer to the issues that we're having. There's a gentleman that made some videos on this. I'm gonna put his channel right here somewhere in the screen, but he did a lot of she decided to come.
Bit me.
He did a lot of he explained a lot in detail what his car was doing, which is the same thing ours is doing, and it looks like we're gonna be able to diagnose the way he did, and we're gonna get to that in a second. But first we're gonna get food, because I just got back from work and Cassie's been holding the bed down all day. And so we're gonna go do that real quick, and then we'll come back and look at everything. And there's our doggy.
She lifts her leg up like a boy dog. Please come.
Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I just tested the throttle position sensor. Made sure that that was working and it's adjusted correctly. It's been moved around a lot throughout this whole process. So I found the right voltage. It's right around 0.18, I think it is. And it has to be between 0.15 and 0.3 for it to be on idle. So it's the lowest as it can. So hopefully that should be good. No issues there. So now we're going to move on to the actual thing that I have a suspicion that is messed up. So we're going to test that port, and I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. But again, if you watch that guy's video, he goes into it with more detail than I do. So let me get that off and get that testing. Give me 1 second. Alright guys, we just finished working on the car. I think we're pretty confident that it is the computer that's the issue. Here are my great diagram that I wrote. Don't mind that one, I messed up. Don't mind that. So here you can see that there's 6 pins. 2 in the middle are always 12, and then when you turn the car on, it should go to 12 and they drop down when the relay opens or closes. So the one that we think is bad is at 2.3, and then all the other ones are at 12. This one's at 12, but I forgot to write it. So we think the computer isn't supplying that specific connector enough voltage. So hopefully, hopefully that is the right answer. We sent the computer out to get fixed, but I think the guy that we sent it to was incompetent, and he did a visual inspection. And
yeah, I literally asked if when I called, and he said, I don't know, I think one of my coworkers looked at it.
yeah, so I think he doesn't have a machine to like hook it up or do anything like that. They just look for burnt.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's one of those. Is something burnt?
Yeah, they look for burnt MOSFETs or the little chips, and they just replace what they find. But either way, we're gonna order that, get that in, and I think this is gonna be I think it's gonna be the end of today's video. I think we're gonna end this one today, and then
we'll come back once
we'll update you guys when we have the part installed, and we'll film that process, because this has been very interesting to deal with. Yeah, so we're actually going to drive it around and pull it back in. So I'm actually going to set it up. What's going on, YouTube? We got the dog's new tents. How's that? Is that good?
They're really nice. Yeah, we'll add a picture because I just took them down. They Also, I'll get Hector to add the video of Mishka learned how to
already escape it.
yeah. Callie knew how to get out, but she's respectful. She actually listens when you tell her to stay. Unlike Mishka, she's in charge of us.
But on the better notes about the Pathfinder, it looks pretty promising. So the computer, I think, was bad. I replaced a little part that we thought was bad, and look at the idle. It's staying down. Now it's still a little too high, so we need to do the idle relearn and tell the car where it needs to be. But it's not revving ridiculously. It's not bouncing RPM. So this is really promising. We're about to go on a test drive and then come back and take care of it and see what's going on. The other thing too that we're doing is probably going to clean it up today. I don't know if I'm going to make this its own video or we'll make it the continuation of part 2. So I don't know yet. Depends if we find anything else and we have to do anything else. So yeah, we're going to go on a test drive now. Pretty exciting. The part was $10 on eBay, $5 shipping. We sent the computer out. The guy said the computer is fine, but we replaced the part, and clearly something was wrong with the computer. Cause
I also did that testing.
yeah, we did that diagnostics that you saw in either this episode or episode 2. But it's really promising. So we're gonna get everything ready, and then we're gonna go.